Hello everyone and welcome to the Spearhead cast! With me, Matt. We have a 1v1! Something I've been excited to see! We have a Waffen-SS vs Soviet match. Let's go through the players. On the German side, as the Waffen-SS is Valhallen as propaganda tactics and immediately call in the Volkssturm. And on the Soviet side, we have Mthis as the Soviet Union calling in conscripts. He has not picked the commander yet. The Volkssturm, I suppose, are going to be here alongside the Waffen-SS to try and keep the Soviets from entering Germany. It is the final days of the Reich, and they're going to be desperately fighting over this little insignificant farmland. Likely somewhere in eastern Germany, probably near Berlin somewhere. Who is to say? But a lot of Volkssturm are being called in for this desperate defense to keep back the Red Menace. While the Soviets are finally pushing through to end the threat of the Nazis, the Hitler-right oppressors, the imperialists. Well, let's see who wins this, shall we? It's gonna be interesting to see propaganda against Soviets. The propaganda tactics is a really interesting commander, actually, because it allows you to play very differently as the Waffen-SS. You get access to a very cheap fodder unit that can serve as a militia-type unit for you. It can sometimes actually compete with other lower-tier infantry. He did not manage to take the point here, but he did take a position inside the watermill. More Volksgrenadiers are moving up here to support. I think the conscripts will win out at range here against the Volkssturm. What's hard to say? We have a Kubelwagen with a 42 coming in. Storm Pioneers in the north. Some Fontoviki has been called in for the Soviets. Actual trained disciplined troops, unlike the conscripts. Ooh, the Volkssturm are using the watermill down here for cover. The conscripts coming against Storm Pioneers might be the Storm Pioneers' favor. Definitely looks like it. Yeah, the Sturmgewehr and the accuracy is paying off. Kubelwagen press now to support. Looks like the Volkssturm are keeping the Soviet vanguard at bay. Fontoviki is rushing out, though they want to try and kill the Kubelwagen, and they kill the gunner.
Heavy machine gun team, prepare for combat.
Maximus arrived for the Soviet Union. The fact is that 1v1 also means we can keep an eye on the action a little more. Oh, I don't think these Volkssturm are getting out of there. They are going to throw a Molotov, though. Or a Brandflasche, as it would be called. A much more industrialized and mass-produced version of a Molotov that the Germans used. I actually even think it had an incorporated igniter built into it. Well, these folks are getting close to the base defenses. But they might still be able to take the point here. But they're not gonna try. Storm is holding the center. We got some Storm Grenadiers being prepared for the Waffen-SS. We have a commander choice. It is Tank Division for the Soviets. Looks like the Tank Division, the Tank Corps, or Corps, I was told to call it, Corps, is approaching towards Berlin. Or somewhere nearby. Let's see if these members of the Volkssturm and the 3rd Waffen-SS, Totenkopf, I believe, is going to be able to hold them back. Soviet Tank Division scales really well into the late game. It is like one of the best commanders for late game, I'd say, because the IS-2 can like be a threat to all the German heavy tanks. Like even the King Tiger is going to have to think a little bit before it engages an IS-2. These Storm Grenadiers are going to be exceptionally useful, I imagine. They're already being armed with an LMG-42. Making them like a mobile high DPS unit. Oh, we have the MG-08, I believe? Yeah, MG-08 for the Volkssturm inside that building. The MG-08 is actually the machine gun the Germans used in the First World War. But because of the issues late war with the Germans just lacking equipment, the Volkssturm were using it alongside even World War I era rifles and before. They really lacked a lot of good equipment. As you would expect from a last-ditch militia attempt. We'll have to keep an eye on what happens though. Currently the Soviets are lacking fuel. Mthis are trying to push up here, but the Volksturm supported by the Kuppelwagen will be enough, I think. But the Maxim is turning. The Volksturm are not soldiers. They will not do well in combat. Prolonged combat against actual troops. Oh, the Storm Grenadiers are flanking, but they might actually get grenaded off Molotov here. Oh, the Conscripts are moving close! And then the Maxim is pinning them. Oh, that's not good for the Storm Grenadiers. Oh, and that's Storm Grenadier, that's expensive. Storm Grenadiers are not cheap. But the Waffen-SS is flanking here and killed a lot of the Soviet troops. It's not looking good for the Soviet Union, but they are taking up. And a crowd mower is going to be on its way. This thing should be able to tear through most of the German troops currently. But the Volksturm also allow the Waffen-SS players to have a field presence, which they would normally be a little bit limited in because all the infantry is so expensive. The Volksturm, however, are very cheap, 180. But they are not that well trained, as you can probably imagine. You have to be very careful with them and put them in good positions. But here's the crowd mower. This is an American Lend-Lease half-track, armed with quad 50 cals. This thing will tear through practically anything that's not heavily armored. It will even destroy German light vehicles like the Puma. I even think it can actually damage the Panzer II if it gets flanking shots. Like that, this thing can be very devastating. That's a lot of firepower. That Kuppelwagen is gonna have a hard time. Yeah, he immediately sees what's gonna happen. As you can see, or immediately tearing two people apart. Also looks like the Sappers have been armed with Lend-Lease Thompsons, which is a unique upgrade you get for being tank division. Oh. They still have to be careful when they move this. If the SS gets an anti-tank weapon, that could destroy it. Yeah, and indeed, some Volksturm Panzerjägers have been called in from up here. These guys can sneak and can do a unique ability called Panzerfaust Assaults, where they fire all three Panzerfaust at the same target. Very fascinating little unit here. But the most important about them is they can sneak, giving you a sneaking anti-tank unit. Officers been called in for the Soviet Union here to direct the assault on this little farming area. Now this Kuppelwagen is actually doing a really good job. Now the problem is that this half should not try and get close to the Volksturm because they have Panzerfausts. And Panzerfaust will allow them to destroy the vehicle if they get in close enough range. Sappers moving up here with the Thompsons. Oh, yeah, that's gonna mow them down. And then the Volkswagen in the flank. Panzerjägers are slowly sneaking up. There's not gonna be much here to spot them. Oh, they are using the assault though. But they got out of range. So but they've not revealed their location yet. Oh, that was a mine. Yeah, the Volksturm can lay mines. I think this half-track might go down. Yeah, here comes the assault. And there it goes. A Panzerfaust on the half-track and that's taken care of. T-60 on the way. That's essentially the precursor of the T-70, but instead being, well, not precursor, but made around the same time. But instead of having a 45mm gun, it has a 20mm autocannon. Oh, we also have some Totenkopf veterans coming in. This is one you can only have one of these units at a time, and they're really veteran and can be specialized for many duties. Very powerful unit, by the way. This this Kuppelwagen has done a lot for the Germans. But T-60 is now in the field. And these Storm Pioneers have no anti-tank capability. Indeed, they are falling back immediately after spotting the T-60. The T-60 can be devastating. But he's pulling back the Kuppelwagens every time he loses his gunner. It's good to see. Officer has arrived for the SS. Artillery being called in.
Political officers are ready to deploy, Comrade Commander.
Need to see what the Soviets do next. A half-track coming in. Looks like to just be a normal transport. No, this is another quad mower. But the Soviets has to be careful. These Volkssturm Panzerjägers are still sneaking up through the farm area. They just need to get close.
Men, on me. Okay, that's the last one. Yes, comrade.
And quad mower on the field again. Looks like a pack is being called in for the Waffen-SS. Pack 40, the premier anti-tank gun used in the war by the Germans. Storm Grenadier is trying to open fire here. They will probably cut down these Panzerwege. But the Storm Pioneers down here is not going to have any ways of stopping. Oh! Yeah, they're going to have to get out of there. Alright, the Understormfear is not going to be well there. He has called down artillery though. Pack 40 is arriving though. And he's also keeping the veterans here stealthed, waiting in ambush. Pack 40 will soon be in range. Oh, he's trying to attack ground with it. Panzerjägers is still sneaking up here. They do not capture points, so they do actually not reveal their position. But they're going to be able to Panzerfaust this thing now. A very useful squad to have in this kind of engagement. So let's bring out assists, probably in anticipation of heavier SS vehicles. But the SS is playing as propaganda, which is not known for being the best with vehicles. They're mostly infantry reliant. Oh, this C60 has to be careful. Because there is a Pack 40. Pack 40 did not penetrate. And Sturm Grenadiers have been armed with Panzerfausts. But it seems they might be able to get away. Using the wide open area here to its advantage. Veterans pulling up alongside the Storm Pioneers. Oh, and the Pack 40 got the T60. Nice shot. Oh, yeah, that's not looking good there.
Regimental HQ for mechanized units will be here.
This has been a pretty bloody skirmish over this field. You have some guards coming in for the Soviets now. The second guards. But I think the Soviets are put in a little bit of a corner here. Looks like the Waffen-SS Totenkopf has been able to push them back somewhat. But the Soviets are not out of it yet. The Soviet Union is a very powerful faction that can generally rebound from losses very easily compared to others. But that Kubelwagen is really being an issue, serving as a mobile suppression platform.
The command vehicle has gone static. HQ operations now.
Looks like the veterans are being armed with scoped STGs. They're being ordered to ambush again when they get into cover. So as I quickly move to the wall here. They have their guards on the field. These guys can serve as frontline infantry. Being armed with double DPs. Artillery being called in here by the Waffen-SS. Oh, not good. Guards are moving up. Volksturm are moving up too. Very big combined force here of the Waffen-SS here. Artillery being called in again. This one looked like it was a fake one, but there's no way the Soviets could know that. Panzerjägers have been spotted. They're gonna throw Gewalt now. But I think the Panzerjägers got killed. More conscripts have been prepared again. But I don't think the Soviets gonna last much longer like this. They have been pinned in. Now the veterans calling the southern flank too. And they're just ready to open fire here in the flank. And there they go. Soviets are trying to take up the tanks though. More artillery coming in. More Volksturm coming in for the Waffen-SS. And now the Germans are laying mines to stop any future Soviet tank attempts coming out of this base.
Grenadier, ready for action.
Ah, but Mthis calls the GG. Well, we have a short 1v1 then. A skirmish in the fields. I hope you all enjoyed the action. I'll see you all in the next one, everyone. Bye-bye.